We were fortunate enough to get 32 days of skiing in this year, which for being a weekend warrior, I think is pretty good. That's literally 16 weekends, which is 4 months of the year. It seems like almost every weekend we took advantage of going out and skiing somewhere. 2 of those days were actually not at resorts. One of these was at a heli skiing operation. The other one was at a cat skiing operation. So 30 days on the dot were spent at Epic and IKON resorts. We didn't go anywhere that was not on these 2 main passes in an effort to save money and sort of stick to our original plan of just buying these 2 passes and exploring as much as we can around that. So of those 30 days, we went to 21 different resorts all across Utah, Idaho, Wyoming, California, Colorado. I'm not exactly sure what this whole video is, but I thought it would kind of be interesting to break down sort of our resorts that we went to and compare that to if you just bought the Epic and IKON pass or if you managed to go buy day tickets. So it's not exactly like a realistic sort of situation, because I'm not sure what world you would buy single day tickets to these places. But nonetheless, I think it's still good to see just how much value you can get with these Epic and IKON passes, and might help someone if you're sort of looking at this $1,000 price tag or $700 price tag to help you get over that initial hump and view it as more of sort of an investment in the ski season as a whole. So of those 30 days, 12 of those days were spent at Epic Pass resorts. And so for no particular reason, I'm gonna kick it off with everything on the Epic Pass. And by far our most used resort on the Epic Pass was Park City Mountain Resort. We did 5 days at Park City. We basically did 2 days before the new year, 1 day for Jupiter, 1 day at 99.90, then most recently our Stoke Squad meetup here at Park City. So those 5 days alone right there at around a $200 day ticket, which is just crazy to even think about, is $1,000 right off the bat. So I paid $1,000 for the Epic Pass. So literally right there with Park City alone, we already got our money's worth, or basically broke even for the pass itself. It was a little bit hard to find like the exact sort of ticket prices, because now a lot of things are sort of in that off-peak late season stuff. So I had to do some digging to try to find like what a peak lift ticket is, but I think either way, everything will kind of balance out itself. So next up on the list is 2 days at Sun Valley. We made a weekend trip to Ketchum, Idaho, where we got 2 days at Sun Valley Resort, and it seemed like the lift ticket was around $150 a day. So for those 2 days at Sun Valley, that's another $300 you could add to the total. Lastly, we went to Snow Basin for opening day, which seemed like the lift ticket there was about $185, bringing our Utah total up to $1,485 just at Utah resorts. Next up is Colorado. We did 3 epic days here in Colorado. We did 1 at Vail, 1 at Beaver Creek, and then 1 at Telluride. Just to sort of average it out, because Vail and Beaver Creek kind of operate on the same pass. It was about $220 for a day ticket to these resorts. So 2 days at these places brings us up to $440. And then 1 day at Telluride was actually a bit more relatively cheap than I thought, if that makes sense, at around $170, bringing the Colorado total up for 3 days of skiing to $610. And then the last piece of this puzzle for the Epic Passes was our trip out to Heavenly in California during that big storm. We only got 1 day in here, but it seems like similar to the lift ticket at Telluride, a day ticket at Heavenly was about $175, so that's another $175 added to the total of the Epic Pass, which brings us around $2,200 just for Epic Pass resorts alone. So we spent about $1,000 on the Epic Pass, and then we've essentially skied $2,200 worth of resorts. This doesn't include taxes, obviously, that you would pay on each ticket, nor does it include just the general inconvenience it can be sometimes to go wait in line at the ticket window, go through all that nonsense, and then feel like you just spent all this money on a day ticket, and you're like, oh, I need to ski bell to bell and get my money's worth out of it. So I think no matter how you sort of slice it, spending $1,000 and getting nearly almost 2.5 times your money back from it, it's kind of hard to argue the value that you get. So pretty cool to see that all into play. But I feel like if I didn't get the 5 days in at Park City, the Epic Pass would kind of be questionable in terms of getting my money's worth. But living up here in Park City, it's kind of hard not to. So the remaining 18 days of our ski season was spent in IKON Pass resorts, and man, looking at this list, I'm super glad I went with the IKON, because I spent basically 2/3 of my time at IKON resorts and only 1/3 at Epic Pass resorts. So we didn't really have like a big 5-day stretch like we did with Park City, and most places were 2-day trips or even just 1 day. Kicking the Icon Pass list off here in Utah with Deer Valley, because Deer Valley has probably the most expensive single day lift ticket at around $230 a day. So we did 2 days here at Deer Valley, which is great having it in our backyard, but $230 times 2 tickets comes out to around $460, which again is essentially already half of what we spent on the Icon Pass. Heading over to Big Cottonwood Canyon, we did 1 day at Brighton and 2 days at Solitude, with the most recent one being the Stoke Squad meetup. And those lift tickets were actually about the same price at $120. So 3 days there times $120 brought us up to $360 just spent up in Big Cottonwood, which combined with the Deer Valley stuff, again, we're almost right up to what we spent on the Icon Pass. And then lastly, in Little Cottonwood Canyon, we spent 2 days at Alta and 1 day at Snowbird, which have the same ticket price at around $160, which again is nearly $500. So I think you guys kind of see the sort of pattern in here. There's like, if you were to go buy single day lift tickets for anywhere around $150, $200, you're just getting way more value getting these bigger passes like the Icon or the Epic. Perhaps one of the biggest reasons why I went with the full Icon Pass was to be able to ski at places like Aspen. We spent a weekend in Aspen. We spent a day up at Steamboat, a day at Winter Park, and even a day at Arapahoe Basin. Adding to that tally, we also spent a weekend up in Big Sky for 2 days, which has a pretty expensive lift ticket at around $200 a day as well. We also spent 2 days at Jackson Hole Mountain Resort and 2 days at the Palisades Tahoe area, which includes Squaw Valley and Alpine Meadows, which are all right around $200 per ticket. So I do feel like I got most of my value with the Icon Pass, because after all of this, we totaled about $3,400 just at Icon Pass resorts alone. So putting both of these together, we got about $5,600 worth of day tickets from our 2 season passes of the Icon and the Epic. Like I mentioned, we didn't spend a single dollar on additional lift tickets, and we were able to ski whatever mountain we wanted whenever we wanted. Didn't have to sort of follow any blackout days or anything like that. So again, if you want to account for tax and everything, let's just say $6,000 worth of day tickets. And again, only spending $2,000 or $2,100, $2,200. So we essentially got 3 times the value for what we would have gotten if we just bought one pass or just went around buying day tickets, which again, I don't think anyone would actually do. So this wasn't meant to be like an Icon versus Epic Pass review by any means. This was really just meant to sort of break down the places that we went to and just see sort of how much value you really do get with these mega passes. I think there's obviously so much sort of negativity that comes with these big passes and the increased crowds, but on the flip side, and just sort of trying to be optimistic and look on the bright side of it all, is it gives us access to all these places where before, when I was growing up, you know, even 10 years ago, you would literally buy a season pass to Park City and it was just like that was your mountain for the year, and you'd have to really sort of prepare a trip, get lift tickets for any other place. So the fact, again, that we were able to go to 21 resorts over 30 days of skiing and get this sort of value is just pretty remarkable. So I encourage you guys to sort of check out the Epic or the Icon Pass, or even both if you can swing it and you think you're gonna sort of be able to sort of flex both of those resorts. But I understand the $1,000 or the $700 or whatever it is you might get, like, seems like a lot of money, and it is. But if you're gonna ski anything more than 4 or 5 days of these places, it's definitely worth it. And just sort of having the comfort of knowing that you already got your pass and stuff like that is just big. So moving forward, I probably will just continue with the Epic and the Icon Pass, so we have the ability to explore anywhere we want for the most part. I hope this was somewhat informative, or just sort of maybe interesting to see the breakdown, because a question I did receive a lot during the season was some sort of variation of what pass do you have, how do you afford to go skiing, do you buy day tickets, all that sort of stuff. So hopefully this sort of shedded some light on our sort of processes here, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think. Let me know what pass you have and sort of what you're gonna be doing going forward. I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for your time. Peace out.